I know I've kicked this idea around for years, literally, and I'm just going to throw it out as an idea, see what you guys think about it. I've been thinking about a fire advisory board made up of some citizens of the valley. We have some, actually, there's 4 chiefs and BCs, battalion chiefs in this valley that's retired. And I just want to see what your thoughts are as we're going to go through this tax increase, to have them help and maybe bring some input. They've all done it. They're retired. They've been experienced. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are.
Do you think they'd all be interested in applying and being on a board?
I visited with several, and they would be delighted.
What would you propose, a 5-member board? Say you
Probably 7. I'd probably do 4 citizens, chair and vice chair of the fire board, and myself as the next officiate. That'd be 7. Or I don't need to be one.
But then you got 6 votes. You got to have an odd number vote.
But I could be I don't need to be a voting member. We can do
You usually would have probably 6.
5.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, we can do
would
it.
like to move forward on that as soon as possible.
So do you want me to make some contacts?
You just have to have Mike. It probably has to be advertised, right?
Well, I think on the advisory board of the fire district, I'm not positive. I'd have to check into that.
We could advertise and have, like we do the Twin Creeks and the other advisory boards.
Might have somebody pop up you're not even aware of.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of firefighters that actually live in the valley, but I guess I was more concentrating on administrative end.
I think it's best to advertise and have those people that you're taking out an application in.
Just like the planning commission where the names would go to Mike and he'd present them to us, or?
Does Mike do it where it's an SSD or would that?
It'd be this board, the fire board.
Be the fire.
I'd just bring the names to you, and I guess
What over the applicant?
I'll recommend, I guess, who they are, and
Yeah.
look at them too.
What are you looking for from your advisory board?
Well, just to put a plan together. I mean, I'm probably too conservative of the chief, possibly. I mean, this district hasn't been in debt since 2010. I took the reins in 03, and we was running 150,000 in the red. Not that I don't know how to run it, but it'd just be nice to have somebody with some other experience, just a different.
Other ideas coming in?
Other perspectives.
It's like when we were talking, what, a month ago, about like a 5-year plan. And I was going to sit down with you and work on that, but an advisory board of former chiefs could really do that a lot better.
And they have the experience. I mean, not that you gentlemen don't, but I mean, it's their forte. And when they're citizens, taxpayers, the community, I think it would be wise to use.
I think they could help us with after-action reports and reviews, equipment replacement policy plan that we've talked about.
We don't need a motion or anything, do we, Steve, just direction?
I'll just proceed with advertising.
You all right with that, Spencer?
Yeah, I think the board ought to be met with maybe you set the board at 3 or 4 of your people with fire, and then try to get 3 or 4 of just regular, everyday citizens, so we can kind of spread the money.
That's what I got with you, 7.
Huh?
Everyday citizens.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
That's what I got.
See, I like that.
I want some professionals.
I like what Chief's proposing, because you have guys who have been chiefs before who understand it, who can help with the administrative part. Because it's not the firefighting issue. We need help with the administrative and then also with communicating with the public. And so I think what he's proposing combined with the 7 of us, we can really, make some headway.
Be similar to the planning commission, those Spence. It'd be with just this board would recommend to the fire board of our findings. I just think going ahead, I know I've kicked it around for a long time, and I know we've talked about it several different times. I'll start the advertising. Is 5, do you want 5, do you want 7? Or do you want to see how many apps you get?
Well, do we need that many, or do we need 3, and then with 2 of us, that'd be 5, and then the chief could be an ex officio?
That's where I
What's the plan for it? I don't know what. The more info we get, the better off we go.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you had 5, and then 2 council, you got 7 with chief ex officio.
I'd like to see 5 and the 2 council and the chief.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's all I have.
Can I ask a question before we move on, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
On tomorrow's agenda, we're talking about ordinance 1704. Would you like to talk about that tonight, or do you want to wait until tomorrow?
What's 17?
That is the sprinkler ordinance.
Is it the one we talked last Wednesday?
I think so. Scott's made a modification to it, and he should have emailed it to you. They emailed it to everyone what was.
I did get 2, but I didn't know.
Yeah, there
what
were
was
2
happening.
versions of it.
So is this the second reading of the original and first reading of those, or, because it looked like there was more than a modification, but I don't know.
I don't know why he sent 2.
There were different options.
There are 2 options. So one was the option that came out of whatever meeting that came out of, to where you were splitting the fire code official, and the other just left blank to be one fire code official. For us to determine that.
Well, I guess, I
Yeah,
can
okay.
attend tomorrow. I have read them, the 2 that I had seen those that Scott put together. I mean, it's, I guess from a fire district's point of view, if you want to appoint somebody besides Clint as the fire code official and myself, I mean, literally, if we're looking at doing it at the building, I mean, from a district's point of view, our liability is a lot less, and the county is a whole bunch more. Because those are the guys making those calls. And I know Bart Coons spent 6 years defending the county on things just like this. They were separate. And it looks to me like, I mean, reading them, just my own, from a district's point of view, it puts the liability on the county and not on the district. Because we've done it for over 25 years, the district has. And if that's going to change, I mean, looking at them, I would say, I would just like to see one fire code official amongst the county. Because you're going to have conflict no matter what you do, interpretation. So I guess with that, that'd be, you know, I mean, from a district point of view, it puts liability right on the county, and Bart Coons would never defend that again. Because we're twisted like a pretzel from what I've read. So that would be my comment on it.
With that, and there's 2 options as well. We talked about maybe having the fire district come back underneath the county at one point, or even having the fire code official, even if he is from the fire department, to come underneath the county. So that's an option there as well. But if we brought the fire code official from the fire department into the county, he's not licensed and qualified to inspect for electrical and mechanical and plumbing. It would just be the fire code official. So
Well, I think we had that under the district though, don't we? Because if it's going to be under the county, they're the ones that's going to hold the liability and not the district. Currently, right now, we hold the liability.
right, but like I'm saying, if we dissolve the SSD and just brought it back underneath the county would have.
I think there's more issues than just dissolving
The
that.
county would have all the liability though.
I think you got to have every town and township sign off on it if you're going to do that. The way the creation was done. And besides, we're a taxing entity. I mean, there's more problems than just moving it.
Well, I think, and I'd like to say, I think the reason for that is trying to decide what to do with moving forward with the additional needs coming for the fire and the additional needs coming for EMS. If we look at how to do that, that's just one of the options that's been considered, is maybe combine them that way. The other is move EMS the other way, you know, there's different.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think
where
it's been looked at, but I think to move a taxing entity under the county is quite a feat, if I was to guess. from what little bit I studied.
That's kind of what we said.
I think it's probably the municipalities entering an interlocal agreement with them.
It would be all the cities and towns. So they back on,
Do their own fire district.
back when this was done originally, each one of them had to sign the creation documents when we done the service district. Midway, Charleston, Fallsburg, all the towns, and now we have 8 total besides the county. that
Yeah, we have
repre-
more than we had there.
Yeah, that we represent and fight fire for, so. And we would under the county, I think there's a lot of issues, but not that they can be worked out, I guess. That'd be above my pay grade.
In the past, does the county have was it a fire marshal or a fire warden? That was a county, not a district.
Originally back in 90, I think it was 1995, 96, they, at that time, the fire board interviewed and hired a fire marshal. But at that time, they put him under the county, which was Steve Ivey.
Yeah, Steve Ivey.
And he was a county employee for, I think, until 2000, when the fire district had full-time employment. And at that time, and I'd have to research it, I'm just talking off the top of my head, he actually was a county employee until that point in time. And then he became a district employee. And since then, the county dissolved the marshal role and turned it to the district. That's how I remember it. It was before, I mean, I was assistant chief when it happened, but that's how I remember it. Since then, I mean, it's been, actually, the marshals has been under the district. There is some out there, like Charleston Town has what they call a fire code official and hideout. I have, at times, I mean, it's a few years ago, these guys have licenses just like I do, probably like Mike does, probably like Spencer. They're personal licenses, just like a contractor's license. Well, he had done, in my mind, he had violated the fire code. And I tried to contact him half a dozen times. Got his number, but left message, never got him. At that point in time, I thought, well, I'll get a hold of the state. I mean, within 5 minutes, he called me. Because it's a serious deal. You get a violation filed against your license, it's no hurry. And so at that time, him and I kind of worked some issues out. I know hideout, they don't call theirs a fire code official. Because I called them on some issues that I had over there. And that's the trouble when we start getting 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 of these fire code officials. Everybody has a different interpretation, just like he did. Well, he went from a fire code official to a fire advisor, whatever that, but that's what they call it. Because I was going to file a complaint. But, and that's just part of my job, I guess. If they're in violation of the fire code, I feel like it's my duty to take care of it. So, sorry to get on that new.
Where are we with the county? Did you go after violating anything there?
I'd probably rather not say in this setting, because that's a potential for litigation.
Anything else, sir? Any other questions?
No, I think Troy's still here. I was going to excuse him, but he's here, so that's all I had unless you have any questions.
How about the fire marshal?
Troy actually has a class. Can you go for me?
All right, go ahead. Then we'll get quick go over these questions.
I really don't have anything to report unless you guys have any questions for me. Still working from our last meeting, county council meeting with the map. I met with the county planner, with Doug, and we've worked on some things. We still need to tweak that literature or verbiage, however you want to put it.
We're going to tweak the, if we pass that as a resolution when we finally pass it, or is it an ordinance?
I don't think we
I
passed
think we
anything.
just pass it as part of the wildland interface ordinance.
But we talked about putting some wording in that would allow some discussion and.
You're talking about like in incorporated areas?
Yeah, or like we talked about, rather than put donuts all over in the map.
Yeah.
to be able to work around it in
With
certain
Doug
areas
West, you
based
know.
on conditions, whatever.
We're just still working on that.
The wording for that.
And I believe that was at a first reading.
Yeah.
Troy, I was a little concerned about including any of the incorporated areas in our map.
Okay.
If that's going to open us up to a can of worms down the road.
I don't believe it is. I met with Heber City today on the new fire policy, and I had showed the individual that I was meeting with the map and where we had those lines drawn, and they were in agreement. That's their problem area within the city. He totally agreed that it's urban interface, and when the new fire policy comes, if they choose to participate, he had talked about if they do adopt the urban interface code, the map has exactly where their boundaries will be.
What's the other towns and cities say?
I haven't met with anybody other than
We had Heber, we had Interlochen,
a little bit of Midway,
a little bit of Medway.
a little bit of Wallford.
And then we talked that they just have to pass resolution to the, whatever, so.
Yeah,
like
and Mr. Davis, from what I understand, was working on some verbiage as well, too. But on that map, in those certain areas that excluded the county from any liability,
So that was
was my understanding.
That was some problem.
Yeah.
So with that, I guess if there's questions on what is urban interface, I would entertain, if you guys would like to take a field trip, I'd be happy to go over it. You know, and I can just show you hands-on why I consider that to be urban interface. It's easier to go look at it in person than it is on a map, so if you gentlemen or anytime you'd like to go, we could go for a ride.
Yeah, we gotta probably do that for the map.
I'd love to do it.
Well, Don, appreciate all your efforts on that. So I'm up for going on a field trip with it.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
We'll do it one day during the first week in April, spring break week.
I got warden's meetings.
Oh, see how you are? Taking off
Sorry.
and retracting.
I know, they're making me go to work on spring break. Other than that, I think after that meeting, there was a little bit of, I guess, question on my duties. And I would just like to clear up a few things, if that's all right with you gentlemen. I do work with the state quite a bit. I have an office out there with the state. I'm in constant contact with Mike Erickson on issues regarding the state. I along with, I work with the fire district, and I work with the county. So I feel like I report to 3 different departments. I am not just an employee for the district. I am an employee for the DNR, Forestry, Fire, State Land, and I am an employee for Wasatch County.
Wasn't there, didn't we have an agreement, some cost sharing that covered us from those 3 departments, right?
With the new bill, it's 50% roughly is gonna come from the state if that all passed. I don't know if they cut some of it out or not. But that's up till then, the agreement you're talking about is a third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know a lot of the board members that are here now weren't involved in that original process, so I just wanted to clear up some things and explain that I am not just a district employee, that I do work with the state. And as far as a representative from the state for the county, I believe that is me. The state has delegated that, that is me. So if there are questions or concerns, I'm
We have
happy to.
certification, so we have a wildland fire, you can be certified as the fire supervisor.
Yes.
Well, if somebody comes over you.
Well,
That.
the way wildland fires work is the different types of fires, so if it gets a certain size, then it bumps up to a different typing. So there's
Forest Service.
a type 5, type 4, type 3, 2, and 1. As of right now, I hold the qualifications to IC type 4 fire, and am currently working on getting certifications to get that type 3.
So the higher the number, the lower, or
The lower the number, the worse the fire.
Yeah.
So a type 1 and a type 2 fire pretty much involves a incident management team. If you pull the trigger on a type 2 fire and then order that team, it's right off the bat, you can consider $1 million fire. Just by ordering that, I think the Cascade 2 was a Type 2 fire. So, but I have gone to school. I do have the qualifications, the certifications, and the experience when it comes to fuel types, topography, vegetation, all the stuff that we were talking about in the last meeting. I believe, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world. We can all learn more, but, you know, I have the best interest for the county in mind when I make these decisions.
You do a good job.
Thank you. Any other thing for me?
Any other questions for Troy?
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to go on the tour with you, so you can show me, so I'd like to understand it. Because everyone's concerned about how it's going to work. Or do we pass a map and then hope that they all pass their ordinances? And then what happens if they don't? That's what I'm worried
I
about.
think that's what that note stated, that they have to pass the ordinance
For it to be part of their deal.
and be part of the short funding.
So the only city or town that has actually signed that MOU so far is Midway, and she called me yesterday.
So if they don't pass it, it's on our map, but if they don't pass it or include it in theirs, they're not eligible for funding.
Okay, so that's kind of, that's the stick with the carrot.
It's a pretty cheap insurance fund for wildfires.
Okay, that's what my concern was, is that what happens if they don't pass their ordinance? But it sounds like it would be pretty bad for them not to.
If they don't pass their ordinance, then they are 100% responsible for any cost that is incurred
in their jurisdiction.
in
The
the
town
town.
of Hideout, town of Independence is very critical they pass it.
I've met with Mr. Sweat, and he is fully on board. I just have not been able to catch up with him to get him the MOU to sign. So, and in Hideout, I have not been able to.
Okay, thank you, Troy.